I'm not wearing a do-rag on the screen because I'm in a courtroom. So everybody go get your wrap on.
The instant she entered the courtroom, the air was filled with her arrogance. She rolled her eyes, laughed sarcastically, and then gave a direct stare to the judge with the kind of smirk you never imagine in front of the law. No one could believe what followed. This is not simply a crime case. It is the tale of an entitled teenager who attempted to use the courtroom as her stage and of the judge who would not go along for the ride. The judge called a halt to everything at one point, and then provided a much-needed dose of reality. With everyone in the courtroom listening, she told the young defendant that culture is not an excuse to hide behind. This was the moment that left the courtroom silent.
Excuse me, time out. I'm black, and guess what? I'm not wearing a do-rag on the screen because I'm in a courtroom. Not only am I not wearing a do-rag.
Stay with me, because this case is more than just a courtroom meltdown. It is a lesson in how unchecked arrogance can take everything away in an instant. The scene is set inside a courtroom in a Texas town. A place that typically warrants decorum, and decorum would soon be the site of something wholly different. And at the center of that was an 18-year-old girl standing before the judge accused of unlawful use of a vehicle. On paper her offense was serious, but the manner in and through which she carried herself revealed something deeper. She walked into the courtroom more than a little cavalier. She lounged back in her chair with the poise usually reserved for those who felt no expectations or obligations to follow the rules. Through the proceedings her eyes were distracted or bored, and her body swayed as if waiting for an eternity to tick down until the moment was up. When the judge engaged her she was chewing her gum deliberately, then replied with a sort of tragic indolence that made everyone in the room uncomfortable.
Because I was in my house. No one told me that I had to dress properly in my house, so I wasn't aware of that.
When she rolled her eyes at the judge and smirked, it was clear this was not just about a stolen car. This was about ego. She gave short, careless replies. She acted as though the courtroom was beneath her. The tension grew because everyone watching could feel it. The girl believed she was untouchable. But the judge had other plans. The audience could feel it. With every eye roll and every careless word she was not defending herself. She was burying herself. She thought she was untouchable, but every smirk and every interruption only pushed her deeper into trouble. It was no longer a question of whether the judge would react. It was only a question of how long the judge would wait before striking back. The girl was digging her own grave and everyone could see it, but her
No, you're in a courtroom. And honestly, I don't know why anyone would want to be seen in public with a do-rag.
That's what we do.
Each of her answers dripped in sarcasm. Each gesture announced her lack of concern. But judges do care about how you conduct yourself in their courtroom, and arrogance is impossible to overlook. Faith stood before a judge in Texas facing a state jail felony for unauthorized use of a vehicle. While the charge is simple, the punishment isn't. If convicted, Faith could spend 2 years in the state jail facility, and owe up to $10,000 in restitution. The judge began questioning her appearance and reminded her the courtroom is a place of respect. This means no do-rags, no lounging, etc. Then came the warning: sit still, don't mumble when answering, and simply answer yes or no. Faith continued to sway in her chair and responded with a lazy yeah. The judge explained deferred adjudication to Faith. This would be her chance at probation depending on her behavior, but one misstep could cost everything.
She dressed appropriately, court, without a do-rag on her head.
Yes, ma'am.
Calling 2021 CR 0666, State of Texas versus Faith Aaron Sutherland Trevino. Can I have?
Before long, the unthinkable took place. Faith tested positive for marijuana, violating the very probation created to save her from prison. She admitted, and the judge nullified her deal, finding her guilty and sending her to jail for 30 days. Much better than the full 2 years she was looking at, but that warning could not be clearer: follow the rules or get back to prison. And then, there was 2025. On July 2nd, Faith was arrested again for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now it's a $50,000 bond keeping her back, her second chance wasted, and her cocky attitude smacked down to the ground. Now check out this video explaining what happened.
Any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm going to show you what
The moral of this case is as cutting as it is indelible. A courtroom is not TikTok, it is not Instagram, and it is not where you get to flash an attitude or play games. If you enter a courtroom, you are entering one of the most solemn settings in society where your words, your conduct, and even your facial expressions can determine your destiny. Judges don't only impose punishment, they impose lessons. And if you don't believe me, life has a nasty habit of teaching them in a lot harsher terms. Faith had every chance to leave with a clean slate, a lighter sentence, and an actual chance to start anew. But pride got in her way. Rather than being humble, she ridiculed the process. Rather than honoring authority, she dismissed it with sarcasm and jargon. And rather than taking advantage of her second chance, she squandered it with one bad decision after the next. That is the risk of being arrogant. Respect precedes a long way. A yes or no, humility in one's body language, and an openness to learn can open doors. Arrogance, on the other hand, closes them, burns bridges, and leaves welts that take years to heal. In a courtroom, arrogance does more than embarrass you. Arrogance can cost you your liberty. It can literally steal years of your life.
bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service, restitution, and CATS 1 and 2. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Her tale is a warning. Freedom is fleeting. A second chance is a precious thing, but if you squander it, the punishment only becomes worse. Faith is proof positive of what occurs when you play the judicial system for a fool. Probation was first. Jail was next. And now, she has a bond she will not be able to afford and charges that will follow her for decades. So this is the true takeaway. Humility will safeguard you when pride levels you. Respect will prevail when disrespect knocks it back. Courtrooms do not compensate pride, they penalize it. The lesson is evident: play games in life, and life will play games with you. Now it is time for you to share your opinions. Was the judge too soft initially, or did she deal with this case just the way she should have? Comment below and let me know what you think. And if you liked this deconstruction of courtroom drama, give this video a like, subscribe for more true-to-life stories, and I will catch you in the next one.